Good evening. So, the title, Expound, Silencing Dissent, that is exactly what this is about. See, I'm going to pull this up, my email, and I'm going to show y'all something that YouTube sent to me roughly a week ago, maybe 4 days ago, maybe more than that. I don't remember the exact day, but I'm going to pull up the email and I'm going to open it on my screen and I'm going to show you what it said. And I just want y'all to keep in mind, I have 435 subscribers. Not important at all. I'm not even a scintilla of a factor when it comes to anything that I say. There's nothing I say is that major at all. Let me see. Still looking for it. Oh, it's looking like it's almost a week ago. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that's what it looks like. And I thought it was funny because they shut it down. They fucking pulled a video that I was like, man, you know what I mean? That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys pulled down the video that I put up shit almost a year ago. If not a whole year ago, somewhere really close to that. And there it is. Man. Boom. Okay. Let me go ahead and share this with y'all. Okay. Yeah. So let's make this bigger so everyone can see. Like that. Looks big enough. I'll make it a little bit bigger now. Okay. It says, "Hi, Demetrius Jones. As you may know, our community guidelines describe which content we allow and don't allow on YouTube. Your video, White Heaven, the rapture that already happened, was flagged to us for review. Upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines and we've removed it from YouTube. We know that this might be disappointing, but it's important to you that YouTube is a safe place for all. If content breaks our rules, we remove it. If you think we've made a mistake, you can appeal and we'll take another look. Content glorifying or inciting violence, and the only reason why I haven't appealed it is because the last time I appealed, when they first flagged the video and made it to where, you know, like people they put an age restriction on it. When they first flagged it, damn, however long ago that was a long time ago when they flagged it. Now they're pulling it down. Now look, I'm gonna skip past all this. Please note, this removal has not resulted in a community guideline strike or a penalty on your account. You want to know why? Because the information that I put out in the White Heaven, the rapture that already happened, was extremely factual. Today, we're going to have to go back over some of that same information. See, y'all don't even understand how epic your boy is. Okay? I'm nobody. Nobody to the fucking grand scheme of whatever. Okay? And I've got these motherfuckers on literally on the fence. I know if I can put out one more video that just breaks 1,000 views, I can get what it is that I'm looking for. You see what I'm saying? I can really get that part. I have to make that video before they pull down my whole channel. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. How many videos have I made calling people from Middle Earth not humans? How many times have I pretty much said that black people are the best thing that ever happened to this planet? How many times have I said these types of things? There are new guidelines. If you guys look them up, I just heard from Professor Schmuckatelli himself break down exactly how the guidelines are going to work. All of my videos that talk about Middle Earth, every single one of them, Every white heaven video has language or content that they say violates their guidelines. Now, the only advantage that I have is that I'm so obscure, I can only hope that they don't think it's that serious to get me out of there. Do you guys remember this information? Let me bring it up and share the screen with y'all, because I'm going to show you this is what really got me this is what really got it removed. We got to find the stuff about our Middle Earth friends, the Slavs, you know, the Visigoths, the Ostrogoths, okay, the Burgundians, the Jutes, the Anglos, those people, the Franks, those people. Not only the fact that I busted the Jewish people's heads wide open, and I did, because I proved that those same Franks are more than likely who the same Jewish people came from. See, if you were listening to the video, you would pick that up. If you were just hearing me and just getting it in, you probably didn't pick that up. Your boy has laid out some epic, vicious shit in the past. Eventually, I think that they're going to motherfucking, they don't have a choice. They're going to have to shut me down. You know? Now, obviously, I'll come back with a different name, but that doesn't negate all the hard work that it's taken. You know what I mean? For me to fuck getting the subs, to put the work out, okay, and I have done it at the rate that I have, to where there's other people who've benefited from my work, okay? They've benefited directly from it, no questions. And so they've used it, they've gotten paid off of my work. They're trying to get rid of a nigga like me. See, look, I don't preach all black people are the same. I say that we're different. Right on? I'm a standalone character. Me and Sister Bowser talked about this the other day, or about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And yeah, just to bring it to mention, I'm a standalone character. I've never, when I say never, I've never done anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't know. Oh, here we go with this bullshit. One moment. It's acting funny on me. Here we go. And that Greece timeline. And there's one more. Early history of the Germanic tribes. And there's one more. See, I'm not going to go over the information all over again as to what got me shut down. Like, because I'm not going to get this video pulled down before people can see it. One moment. Okay. See, I want to really break something to y'all. History of the Franks. Need that too. Damn. I'm sorry, y'all. I probably have like 200 or 300 saved sites in my favorites folder, and you can't alphabetize them. And it's weird because the order that they're in isn't exactly the order that I found the information. Man, where is it at? I'm looking for my thing about Clovis. I have to find it, y'all. It's a must, because they are the same people. They're the Jews, they're the Americans, they're the Germans. All these white people are the same people, dude. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, they come from a similar root stock. They've branched out into different genetic streams, so now they look a little differently from one another. But in all actuality, they're the same people for the most part. There we go. See, I got two of them. The rise of the Franks in medieval history. What? What? Oh my goodness. So one of them has been removed. I'm gonna have to go look for that again because that's YouTube might have hit him up though. You feel me? YouTube might have been like, "Hey man, y'all got to get that shit out of here. This nigga didn't use this shit as a weapon." Because I have. The rise of the Franks. Here we go. Boom, boom. That one's gonna act funny too. Let's pull it up. All right, man. Okay. Share. We're gonna show the rise of the Franks first. And I'm gonna show you guys what this has to do with silencing dissent. See, look at where they're at in the world right now. Do y'all know where this is at? Do y'all know where this is at? This is the Mediterranean, dog. Look at this. This is where these white people went after they came down from mountains over here, mountains in this region. This is where they came to. Romanized Celts, Saxons. Listen, don't believe that bullshit. Don't believe that bullshit. Those dudes didn't get there until well after Black Romans had been in that land and got there. Well after the fact. Okay? Well after the fact. I need y'all to understand something. It's called the Hunnic Empire right now, right? This is 451 AD. I don't have the map to show you the old Turkic Empire. All this shit is the Turkic Empire. But guess who took over? These guys called the Franks, okay? And they settled in a little spot called France. Man, y'all need to understand, man, this shit is deep as a motherfucker. It's so deep. It's not, and then if you just look at it from that point of view, that they're trying to silence the fact that I can show people that they already got the best that they can get. I showed people that with the scripture of Paul, where Paul said, "Do that which is good." Right on. Let me just pull it up and read it to you. I don't want to hear no shit about a blunt in my mouth. I don't care. One moment. One moment. Go back one more chapter. Here we go. Verse 22. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of God on them which fell severity. He's talking about the Israelites, black people here in America. Make it modern. But toward thee, slave owners, poor regular podunk white trash, right on, and anybody else that wasn't a nigga. But toward thee, goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. Stop right there. He's talking about the uttering throttling of the people. Now, y'all do realize that in Ezekiel 7:24, it says, I have sent among thee the worst of the heathens, right? To dwell in their places. You know what I'm saying? And they shall dwell in their places. Something like that. In their homes. What it means is that the people that were around during the days of Shaul, aka Paul, some of these same dirty bastards from these same empires, I need y'all to understand, how it's breaking down now, huh? This shit's getting deep. Now listen to me. Listen to your boy. These same people who you're looking at now, different groups, even the Romans, okay? That same group during this time. Now, not to say that the Romans dwelled in their home, but the Romans had in their ranks people who were known as the Celts, as the Jutes, as the Burgundians. Can you dig what I'm saying? The Goths, the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths. These were the people that are the worst of the heathen. These are the same heathens, okay? And Deuteronomy 28, I can't remember, the verse is right here. Let me just look at it. Deuteronomy 28, verse 30. And it says, thou shalt take a, it's actually in the middle of the verse, but I'm going to read the whole thing. Thou shalt take a wife, and another man shall have her. And thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell in it. Now stop right there. Now, would it be appropriate to say that the same worst of the heathens, aka the Jews, the Israeli now, right, the so-called Jews, those people, right, would it be a stretch to say that those same worst of the heathens, back when they did have blue eyes and yellow hair sometimes still, because they still sometimes do to this day, would it be those same worst of the heathens who came here and enslaved your people? Huh? And your people had to build houses for them to live, because these guys understood the verse of Paul. What did Paul say? Do what? On them which fell severity, but toward thee goodness, if thou continue in his goodness. The goodness you have is because of their severity. It's because of the severe sentence he's placed upon the people. The blessing of the heathen comes from the Most High God, okay, giving them anything, because he gave you over into their hands. But he said the worst of the heathen dwell in their houses. So right now, the people who are still living in Israel are the worst of the heathens. So the white dudes that you're around right now, unless he's a real Jew boy, he's not the worst of the heathen. Right. He's just part of that branch. But he's not them. He's not them. Because you want to know how many poor white trash dumb bastards were, listen, got to drive the slaves. Okay? But these motherfuckers was living in wood shacks. All right? Barely had homes. And some of them had too much pride to let a nigga build a house for them. Please. All of them couldn't afford slaves, y'all. I need y'all to understand this. The worst of the heathen are those who could afford slaves off tops, the Jews. Lived in the South, for the most part, the Jews. Considered carpetbaggers at a certain point in time in history, the Jews. They are the only class of people, even the English people who came here, by the droves, most of them did not have the ability to do what the worst of the heathen can do. Whew, come on. Slavs, ancient history. We're going to look at this real quick. Boom, bing, bang, 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 bang. The term Slavs designate an ethnic group of people who share long-term cultural continuity and speak a set, not one, but a set of related languages, known as the Slavic languages, all of which belong to the Indo-European language family. Little is known about the Slavs before they are mentioned in the Byzantine Empire, records of the 6th century CE, Common Era. Stop right there. Do y'all understand that these dudes is straight from Middle fucking Earth? Climbed out of Middle Earth just to find themselves at the peak of in a range of a mountain. Don't want to climb down because they don't know how. It took thousands of years, man. Anyway, y'all. It took them all this time to get their shit together. They haven't even, white people have not been in power for as long as they say they have. See, Dre, I can't even make videos like that because they'll shut me down, dog. They'll shut it down. The origins of the Slavs. The Slavs are the least documented group among the so-called barbarian enemies of the Rome during late antiquity. Now I'm gonna pull something up that y'all probably didn't even see your boy doing. Where is that at? Is this the rise of the Franks? Man, let's go down real quick. Early history of the Franks. Now this is 350 Okay, so this would be 4th century CE. Now, is this the one where it talks about the? You know what? The site that I couldn't pull up. The site that I couldn't pull up is the one that has the information um, um, about the Romans mentioning them for the first time. But let's see if the Greece timeline has anything on it. Oh my goodness. You see how they do your boy? "500 BCE, we would start to hear about the so-called Germanic tribes." No. See? This is Greece. Understand me. This is Greece. All right? I'm looking. I don't see nothing about no barbarians or nothing. Okay. Let's just keep going. Gauls defeated. Okay, here we go. Invasion of Greece by the Gauls, 279 BCE. The Gauls are one of these Germanic tribes, and they actually are a Slavic group. Now, and if I'm not mistaken, the Slavs, they come from the Ostrogoths or Visigoths. They tell us somewhere in this bitch. Let's look. I'm just going to skim through. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Don't care nothing about that. In the middle of the 5th century. What? In the middle of the 5th century. CE, that's Common Era. They did this bullshit. Now listen, they're not known about. That's 1,000 years, dog. Look, man. Is this the right page? No, early history of Greece. No, Greece timeline. There we go. Look, invasion by the Gauls, 279 BCE. Y'all need to understand. This is when the first white-looking people got to get in. All right, but if we had the other website, the Romans dealt with them in 500 BCE or something like that. It might be on this ancient or early history of the Germans. Let's see. Germanic tribes, Baltic and southern Scandinavia, who are considered fucking Slavic people to this day. Do y'all understand what I'm trying to point out to you? That they're the same, but they're all not the same. They're different because the worst of them, okay, the worst of them, all right, are these dudes who are known as the fucking Turks. And the Turkic Empire was established. Let me pull it up. Bam. Turkic Empire. Bam. We don't want. And you could even and they might even talk about the Huns in the Turkic Empire. Understand this. This is why this shit is so deep, man. Let me look for something that has some. So they were destroyed by the Tang Dynasty and whatever. I'm looking for when they started. Give me one moment. See, a Genghis Khan is a Turk. Understand this shit. This is fucking deep. Oh my goodness. Give me one moment. And I'm not talking about all these guys are the same. All these guys are the same. All of them are the fucking same. I'm trying to tell y'all. What you think that's called the Go-Turk Empire for no reason? Look, they brought this shit up. Now watch. Ottoman Empire. I'm going to break it down to y'all in a second because I hope that they do the same thing that I'm trying to show. I hope they do. They're saying founded 1299. Don't believe that. These are the same dudes who are the Huns who assimilated in China. These are the same. It's the same fucking dudes, y'all. And they mixed and and intermingle with these people. This is why some of the Asians look white now, look hella white skinned, and some of them are still darker skinned. I'm trying to break this shit down, man. But let me find when they really came up, because this is not it. See, this is it. This is not that. Okay. So I'd have to go back here. Wow, we're gonna have to go back to the fall of Rome, the Byzantine Empire, and this is where they actually pick up. You guys need to understand. The Turks are related to the Vandals, are related to the Slavs. They're all these dudes come, they're all Indo-Europeans. I'm trying to break down though, like the actual worst one, who I know to be the so-called Jewish people. Okay, so let's see. Blah 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 blah. No. Blah 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 blah. I'm gonna have to pull up the shit. I'm gonna actually have to read the stuff about Clovis a little bit, I think. Okay. The tide turned in the 9th century under dynasties of emperors, including Michael III and later Basil's dynasty, which held the throne of Byzantium for the next 2 centuries. Basil's successors extended the empire's boundary to Euphrates and made considerable inroads to Bulgaria. Listen, there was fucking almost 1,000 years of a hostile takeover, dog, of all the land. This is why they're not called the Ottoman Empire until then. I'm not even. I might break it down to y'all why that is the way it is, but I don't have time to go all into that. Right on, like I have to get back to my initial message, which is being silenced, and people shutting you up because you know too much. Or take that video. That was one of those videos that needed 1,000 views. I'm telling you guys. That was one of the videos that needed 1,000 views or better. It would have changed how people look at white people. Would have changed everything. I got a bunch of videos like that, but that was one of those ones that, like, once it got flagged, I knew I struck a chord. Okay, let's just read about the Franks real quick. The Franks inhabited the delta lands at the mouths of the Rhine and Scheldt rivers in about 350. They became Roman federati and were allowed, which means, like Confederates, you know what I mean? Like they're people who were signed into the army and stuff like that, were allowed to occupy lands in the south of the Rhine. Now stop right there. Now let's go back up here and look at this. This is called the Hunnic Empire. This is 451 AD. I need y'all to understand who the Huns are. I need y'all to understand what land this is. What land do y'all think this is? What land do you think this stretches into? Thank you very much. Who do you think these people bred with when they went into the lands that they were going into? Thank you very much. Why do you think these Jewish dudes have such a hard time getting out the area? Because they know if they're not in this area, that Silk Road route, just about, they're fucked. Because this is why they're there, because that's what they know. They're actually not there because, they want to, they know don't nobody believe they're the real Jews. They know that. Here's the thing. The real Israelites, they know that. Here's the thing. They're all by the Silk Road like they used to be. And the same dirty ass bastard Huns who went over there and invaded China when it would have had many of black looking Aboriginal people, raped the women, killed the men. The men fought as valiant as they. This is why when you watch movies about Chinese history, they don't make sense because all the people look the same. Right on? The Huns who would have invaded. This is why some of the Asian people still to this day have curly ass hair. Okay? And you're like, well, where's the niggas at? There's black looking people in China right now, but they fit an Aboriginal mold. I'm trying to tell y'all how this shit came to be. I don't want them to pull this bitch down too, so I had to give it a different name. Check me out. If you guys really understand what I'm saying right now, these dudes called the Franks bred with some of these people who live here in the Hunnic Empire. Okay, all right. Those same people went off to breed with Aboriginal people and other black people of the lands. I know you're gonna have a hard time believing it, but the worst of the heathen, if you had to give them a title and a real one, you'd be calling them octoroons and quadroons. That's the truth. I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. See, the worst of the heathen, and I'm not talking about mixed breed people all out. I'm talking about a perfected race of mixed people where they've bred for so long. These phenotypes are dictated by these genotypes because they occur and in such a magnitude where in which they're going to breed out the genetics that they find undesirable. Come on now, are you with me? The black people that have been in Israel did not leave when the Palestinians got their asses kicked out are the Jebusites and the Benjamites. I'm not going to go into that right now. The Israeli know this. They've read the scripture. They know that. Can't break everything down in 1 second because, it's too much going on. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop sharing all this and I'm going to just speak to y'all because this shit is crazy. What? You can't see anything? This is fucking crazy. Yes, that's why some Jews have kinky hair. That is exactly why. Give me one moment. Let me reload the page. This is fucking crazy, dude. Why couldn't you? Dude, wow. I was reading all that stuff to y'all. YouTube did that. I shared listen, I shared it just like I share all the time. I did nothing different. Nothing. I did nothing different. This is bullshit. I seen that. I seen that as I pulled up. This is bullshit, man. This is fucking crazy, y'all. And then it just went up. It's supposed to switch from page to page to page. It does that all the time. It switches from page to page all the time. It's supposed to. Man. Oh my goodness. It's okay. They didn't want y'all to see all that. Everything I just pointed out was vicious. I just went back and forth, literally showing y'all like the one map that I had up. So let me just copy these links. I'm going to copy every link that there is, and I'm just going to put them down here for you guys. And then, then they can't shut it down. This shit is crazy. Paste. Yeah, that made me disappointed just then for you to say that you couldn't see nothing. That's stupid. It's all right. I want y'all to understand the people who came up out of China, who live in China now, are a water. This is why some of the Chinese people, even I know y'all seen Asian people who look like they have like black people like features. Why do you think that? I'm trying to break this shit down to y'all, man. Appreciate what your boy is saying because another nigga would be way too scary to say it. You know what I'm saying? It would be way too scary to say it. They wouldn't even want to fucking tell you because they would think that you wouldn't believe them. I know people believe what I'm saying. I just think that there's a level of combativeness that they apply to what they believe. They're like, well, I believe this part, but I don't believe that part. And it's like, well, that's fine, but that's not how it works. Yeah, I mean, I've been breaking all this shit. I broke down a minute ago, but it's like I'm having to go over all the same things because if I don't go over them, right, and I don't repeat myself, when it all comes full circle, because it comes full circle so often that I'm not sure exactly if everybody always sees, like the big picture here. I'm trying to show y'all that the same worst of the heathen are the same dirty ass carpetbaggers who came over here and people build houses for initially. Come on, and didn't dwell in those houses. What? You got one slave to build your whole house for you, but you bought that slave to get your tobacco for you? No, that's not how it worked. It's crazy. It's crazy. And when you were buying slaves, just to go ahead and give y'all some game, when you were buying slaves, you wanted a man and a woman. Okay. People talking about, oh, well, women were more valuable. That's only because they have babies. And then now you get free slaves. It didn't cost you nothing. You see what I'm saying? So you have to really understand the dynamic of what they're actually aimed at. But the whole point and focus and purpose of what I'm getting at is that they will try to shut down anything that gets close to the actual truth. There's times when I'm trying to click from one channel to the other. I mean, not one channel, but from one tab to the other, and it'll pull up a page that I'm not even trying to show y'all. And I'm like, damn, I got to go back to my other page. And I'm like, why wasn't the same fluidity allowed to me that's always allowed to me? You see what I'm talking about? You know, they didn't want people to watch it and see exactly the whole breakdown. But now it's okay because people can go and they can look at these things and they can understand. And then I went to a bunch of different websites too, where maybe that does help, maybe that doesn't help. But the thing is this, I know what I'm talking about. They can't dispute it. The same people that are all related, the Germanic tribes, those Indo-European bastards, invaded Greece and invaded Rome. Okay. And they were able to invade Greece because the Romans let up the slack on them. Want to know why? Because they were trying to civilize the people who were the damn Gauls. They were trying to civilize them. That same attempt to civilize these people, okay, blew up in their faces. Because the people of Gaul, including some of the people who were Franks coming through, come on, understand that if you think it was just Gauls they were fighting, you're out of your mind. These are people who were thousands of years displaced, okay, don't want to tell us if they do know the truth, all right, because then that exposes them. If I point out the fact that Clovis, the Frank, overtook Rome in his lifetime and changed the whole Roman Empire, so much so that there was a power grab and because a serious vacuum of the culture happened. The people left and they went and they created what's known as the so-called Byzantine Empire. Okay. And people say, oh, the Moors invaded and made those people black looking again. And it's like, well, if you were already black to begin with, what would be your issue going back to being black again? Nothing. Right. They didn't do the mass dilution of the Sicilians until like 150 years ago, 160 years ago. They were still niggas in Sicily. There's still people who look like us, very much like us right now in those places. But they're hidden off in the back. You don't see them on TV. All right. I've met people from Greece, half breeds. Like, no, my dad is black and my mom was born in Greece. Okay. But my dad is from Greece as well. All right. But they don't think that these black people that are living in Greece are actually real Greeks. You understand? And they have been there the entire time and have never left. So when you have this misconception, just in the information that people receive, there's going to be somewhere along the line, there's going to be a miscue and a misfire. It has to happen. It must happen and take place just like that. So my whole point is that when you have a guy like Clovis take over the Roman Empire, okay, he takes over, all right? The Roman Empire goes into this fast descent, crumbles to pieces. The Byzantine Empire wasn't Clovis and the Franks. It was the black people and the half-breeds that could escape to get out of the land, right? Then their Hamitic cousins came to reinforce their numbers. They tell a story of, oh, they raped everybody. No, they didn't. Get that out your heads. Get that out your heads. Why do you think Hannibal was going to go fight the Romans in the first place? Because he already heard what happened to black people before. He's like, dude, the Romans are black. They're like, not anymore. Oh, it won't happen to us. Won't happen to me. I'm trying to tell y'all, this shit is fucking real. You have to really take yourself out of the historical nonsense that they've given us and really humanize the situation. What would drive a man to take elephants, an animal that he knows, okay? He knows these animals can't really traverse this land like this. What would drive him to do that? Other than the worst of the heathen. Thank you very much. And those dirty ass bastards shut your boy down because I pointed it out. And I made it clear. And I made it known. The only person who will talk about them like this is me. You got dudes who call the Romans white because white people put it in their heads that they were white. But they'll tell you that other groups like the Egyptians that white people make white were black. How ill can you be in your head? Once again, to go back to the Chinese, how stupid can the Chinese think I am as a black man to watch a movie and everybody looks the same, but one of the forces is supposed to be an invading force? Yet you discern the difference because one speaks a different language. What? You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. But that's the lie we're being told. You're supposed to believe that the same people who invaded Rome, right, look just like the people who already lived in Rome. What kind of shit is that? But I'm tripping. This is why they took my shit down, okay? Because I'm breaking down things that a dude will tell you that the Egyptians were black, but somehow the Romans couldn't have been black. Somehow the Greeks weren't black. Huh? Somehow the Mycenaeans and the Etruscans, all those people weren't black. Man, get the fuck out of here. Anyway, please, these guys and these gals who get paid lots of money from hardworking folks like yourself, okay, who bust their hump every day. And they say, for my content, you should pay me because it's worth it. They're the devil. And they've been influenced by the worst of the heathen. These same people would have you to build a house for them that you would never live in, that they lived in, and then brag that you built it for them, thinking that makes them special. Woe to them who build their house on wickedness. Woe to them who build their house on unrighteousness. I'm not going to carry on those verses. Woe to you. Can you dig it? I don't give a damn about no rich person. They don't affect me. They don't affect me. All they do is try to put a situation in all the poor people's minds. And poor people are so feeble-minded most of the time that they believe everything that they hear from somebody who has something. It goes back to the scripture. You know what I'm saying? It says, when a rich man speaks, every man, or something like that, they extol his words to the stars, right? When the poor man speaketh, they say, what man is this? That's not exactly the way it goes, but that's pretty much the gist. Do you understand what I'm trying to say right now? That these people get money from the people, have the people to give them the money, then tell other people, if you don't have money, okay, right? Or will put themselves in a status, right, in a position, in a tier, an echelon, if you will, a caste, and make it seem as if you're beneath them, even though they're essentially a high-class beggar. Right, I don't need an amen, because I already know I'm right. And these bastards don't want to hear it, can't take it, don't want to take it. Meats would never ask somebody to put up money for a lawyer that he's going to, I'll get my own lawyer. Can you dig that? Because if these people were so-called who they thought they were, once again, y'all, I got a super duper lawsuit on my hands. I'm going to get a couple people from different states who are going through similar situations. I'm going to try to really go the class action suit route. Nobody knows how I'm thinking, but I just told y'all what I'm thinking. People don't even know I'm vicious like that. I'm him to do that. I take my time. That's why I haven't been aggressive about nothing. I just talk like this. I'm not about to go out here and do nothing to nobody unless I absolutely have to. But if they even push the envelope a little bit, I'm going there. Because I'm not going to question whether or not I'm going to make it out of a situation. I'm going to put the odds in my favor every time. The 50% that I can manipulate, will, and cultivate, I'm going to do that. I will not give myself a chance. Right now, I'm going to give myself a chance by saying this to my people. You have got to pay attention to what I'm saying to you. I've been speaking for years about the octoroons and the quadroons, okay? And the people in between percentages who exist around you, who look white, have been passing for white for a long time. These are the same white boys who got a sweet tooth for black women. These are the same white girls who got a sweet tooth for black men. This is why sometimes when they have kids with them, their kids look, you're like, damn, the kids look hella black. And it's like, because this white person probably ain't full fucking white. It's just it's common sense. It's common sense. They can't have children rapidly. If you breed a bloodline in with them, you change their bloodline forever, but you give them the ability to breed with people of a similar genetic structure as yourself and to create children now. Oh, you think, how many blonde hair, blue-eyed families have you seen where there's like 15 kids? In those pictures where you saw that I used to show y'all. Dirty podunk bastards. Never. It's only the people with dark hair, dark eyes with a bunch of kids. Every once in a while there's a light hair looking person with a few kids, but it's not that often. This is why you see more dark-haired white people in America than you do light-haired white people. You see more dark-eyed white people than you see light-eyed white people. It's fucking simple. From either mating with the Aboriginal black people that were here, indigenous, whatever you want to say, and the different genetic structures of those people, from mating with the black people that were brought here, okay? All right? And they've been able to do this now successfully for 500 years, because you got to remember the Portuguese were here back in the early 1500s, all right? So Portuguese look like white people, but not all Portuguese. Some of them still look very nigga-like. See, this is why all this shit is deep. I don't have time to break it all down. There's not enough time in a day. There's not enough time in one moment. You know what I'm saying? They don't respect that if they don't speak up now. And I'm talking about the people who have the ability to change the narrative, and they're not changing the narrative because they're doing nothing other than, and I've told Andre this in confidence, but I mean, I'll tell any one of these guys right to their faces. And I mean, serious as a stroke and a heart attack at the same time. A lot of these little movements, I'm the backbone to. A lot of, man, they couldn't tell me no different. I got works from years ago that supplement, support, substantiate, are the foundations to many of their arguments. Me. And I can prove it. But do I sit here and nitpick at those little type of things? I bring them up, but I don't like show every little thing. These dudes, man, anyway, if y'all understood the little bit of views that I get, a good portion of them come from people who have a lot of subs. They just stop in just to see what I say because they can listen to me. You don't lose nothing by listening to me. You don't have to like the video. All you have to do is watch it. So you don't lose nothing. You feel me? It's really a beautiful thing because I'm watching how, and if y'all don't believe me, I'm gonna point something out to you. How many of these characters now do y'all hear? They sound more biblical now. All of a sudden, a lot of them throwing in a lot more biblical verse than they normally would. They're not getting that from ISUPK or whatever the fuck, GOCC, none of those cats. Because none of those dudes have any real foundation of being authentic. Your boy, though, he does. And he just so happens to be an actual turf nigga. Still 10 toes down. I won't get off the 10 phalanges. When I sit, I'm on my 10 phalanges. Just so I know I got 10 toes. You understand me? And that's not me talking crazy. That's me being 1,000 with you. You know, I chopped it with Andre on a whole nother level because I can't talk the way I talk to him, or the way I talk to bro, I can't say online sometimes, and I know I can't. I'm gonna keep it real funky dunky in here in a second. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, I don't want this video to get pulled, but I'm about to say some shit about these dudes that they're not gonna like. And I'm gonna start right now. See, and I'm not talking about the niggas now. I'm talking about the white people again. So let me go ahead and let y'all know who I'm talking about. Those folks. See, by trying to take down this little video right here, all they're doing is mounting up their offense, okay? For not me, all right? Not me, but the dudes who've been making money. What, you think they want something from me? I don't owe YouTube. I don't owe YouTube nothing. But them, they owe YouTube. YouTube feels like they owe them. You don't think YouTube has contracts with the government? You don't think these guys who, even though they don't show their faces, even if they have, what's it called? It's where your IP address changes, but it not just changes, it changes location. Even though there's a couple of them who are pretty smart in doing that, you don't think YouTube is working right now? You don't think they're working the fucking death trap on these guys? Huh? I'm waiting for it. I've never said that. Ever said that. I'm waiting. I know it's gonna come. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Those motherfuckers are on the list. Every last single one of them. Every last single one of them. Every last single one of them. And they know why they're on that list. Because they've sat here and they've played they've been more duplicitous than the white people that they're talking about. They've been far more duplicitous than the white people that they're talking about. They do what white people do and expect to be pardoned for their wickedness. You can't tell me you can control both sides of an argument. That's ridiculous. The only side you have is your side of the argument. Because in order for there to be an argument, there must be another party contending with you. And the contention is that they are correct and you are incorrect. Overall, we're not going to talk about the minutia of being right about this and wrong about that. We're talking about the complete argument. You're wrong and they're right. Okay? And when people can't grasp these simple concepts that these motherfuckers have been putting themselves out here for years. This is why sometimes I say shit to them that I know gets under their skin, but I watch their content and I watch it intently because I always watch to see when they, because they're going to throw me a bone eventually. They're going to throw something like, they might say something about the Most High, knowing that they don't never talk about the Most High. It's not even a word that they really even practice to put in their vocabulary. They might even throw out a word that I use or a term that I've been using as of late, right on. And I'm like, damn, I just used that word the other day and I ain't used it in like 4 years. Okay? Cats who always want to talk about the finances of people because I speak on my financial turbulence because of my legal situations. These same people also speak on the karma of acting a certain way and then getting whatever it is that you've been doing. So it's like, first off, for you to even speak on that level, you'd have to fucking know me. Can you dig it? I'm not begging the people for money. I'm not slickly saying, oh, well, it would be greatly appreciated if you could do something for me. What? That's fucking bullshit. The most I've ever asked for, because I actually needed it, and by the grace of God, this whole situation has worked out the way that it has. But when I asked for reference letters, okay, just to speak on my character, that's the most I've ever asked for. And I think like that's asking you for more than money, because I'm asking you to speak on me. And with the exception of Andre, nobody's actually physically been face to face to me. Right. So I'm asking you for greater than a financial dividend because I'm asking you to speak up for me. That's far greater than money. For somebody, a great friend will always outdo the dollar. I need y'all to understand that, okay? Because know-how is power. Know-how is power. Know-how is influence. Influence is power. So now you got two different forms of power, okay? Man, I can't give all the game that I got, because I know that there's going to be people who listen to it and try to take everything away from it. There's not just one form of power or strength, okay, or love, or any of those things. Most people understand this, but they don't actually live in that. See, all they measure strength is physical strength. Huh? But what about your emotional strength or your spiritual strength? Huh? Those are real. Those are things that you can measure. All right? Your mentals can be measured. If you just went through something that would have shocked and awed most people, and you're not acting shocked or odd, and it's believable that you have somehow either not been affected or totally overcame it instantaneously, one has to presume that you're actually not well, and you're doing this so that way people don't infer to you and saying that I don't think you're well, or are you okay? See, people have to really understand these concepts. There's so many different versions of all these things that we deal with, that if you don't realize which one of them is ailing you or accompanying you, right, and allying you, then you might not actually realize what it is that you're up against. Once again, I'm speaking to so many different levels right now. If I have to go to the spectrum, okay, you can see Demetrius Antoine Jones because he exists within this spectrum. If I didn't, this conversation couldn't take place right now. But the same way that the water and the waves commingle, the same way that the wind and the sand and the waves commingle. Yea, the way that the wind, the sand, okay, the water and the vegetation comes from it commingles. How the heat, the wind, okay, the sand, the water, and the vegetation all work together and totally. See, if you don't understand these things, okay, it's hard to explain them. It really is, because I already get it. And it's not something that you can put on paper and make a person understand. All right. You'd have to go outside and live and see things and experience those things and acknowledge them within your experiences. So that way you can then go back in your mind, right, and analyze what it is that I've acknowledged and experienced. This is the only way that one grows. This is how you actually ascend within yourself. See, in a video game, like real life, when you go through certain things, you gain experience. This is why the concept experience comes from, because you get better as you do it. So the more you survive something and the more you do something, the better you are at it. Whatever anybody's profession is right now, they're probably at a high level of it or coming into a very high level of it. This is just how it goes. That's how all things go. I can't stress enough. These guys got a bad day coming. I don't. Because they already know what they're going to get if they come to me. You see what I'm saying? I don't talk about guns. Technically, I can't even have one. You understand what I'm talking about? But if I really needed a gun and had to get my hands on a gun, I could. So it's like, it's not really a big deal. And the veracity of how I act in the moment is totally different than a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that I overdo things when I do things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but I'm living. Like, I'm surviving. I want y'all to really put that in your heads. You are living. You are surviving through the ordeal. Want to know why? Because you're the same people that they want to give up your hard-earned shekels and give them up to them. And they tell you that we know what to do. Listen, they tell you with your money that we know what to do with this money better than you do. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. Okay? Trust me. Come their day, come the day of whatever, all right? If the white people and the government don't get to these guys before the great day of judgment, come that day, there's going to be brothers just like myself who hold a lot of these individuals to account. I can't wait. They can only pray that I die before that. That's it. That's it. There will be no government that day. So I'm not threatening nobody. This is a hypothetical day, technically, because it might not ever happen while I yet live. But come that day, if they don't pay for it, don't worry. The sins of the father shall be paid to the second and third generations. I don't worry about anything. I'm not speaking anything evil or ill on these guys. This is just what's coming to them. The scripture speaks on things like this. It's not Demetrius. Once again, they can't be mad at me for the part that they've played in their own destructions. Never talk like this, ever. And I don't even care. And I want them to feel the ire of how it is that I feel. They have spit on their people by giving them false hopes. Not one of them have told these people to humble yourselves. If you think murdering each other in the street, shooting each other in the back of the fucking head is humbling yourself, then I guess you guys are there. You know what I'm talking about? All those guys in the hood, they're all there. But if that's not it, and that's the furthest thing from it, then people on all tiers, that high on down, need to realize that they're not as humble as they think they are. These are the same people who ask you for money. A homeless person asks them for money, they tell them no. What? You got gifted that money and you won't even do the right thing and look out for somebody who's more than likely a brother-looking person to them, okay? A sister-looking person to them, and they don't even love their people. When's the last time you heard one of these guys say, hey, you know what? Me and this black YouTuber 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 who all fleece y'all, who all get y'all to give us your hard-earned money. We all took some of that hard-earned money and we said, you know what? We're going to go to this neighborhood because it's a really rough place and we're going to open up a community kitchen, okay? Because this YouTuber is from this place, all right? And he says that he has connections and he says that he has real pull in this community. So we're going to make that happen for that community. And granted, how it goes depends on if we're going to be able to do this again in another community. They've never done nothing like this. They're not going to. They're not built for that. They've all gotten to an age where they don't know how to look out for anyone other than themselves. A part of looking out for number one is looking out for all the others around you, especially those people that support you. You understand? That's a basic principle of number one. Basic principle. You could even say that by looking out for them, you might be even looking out for yourself still. So if it even turns to that, whatever. But the whole point is this: you need to look out for other people. You need to have them in your forward vision, in your peripherals, and if you can, in your rear view. You need to look out for people. Don't forget about people behind you who supported you, who put you in a position for you to get there. Because it's going to be them, those same people, if you fall and you take care of them, will make sure you only fall so far. It's just the way it is. Where are the Cosby kitchens at all throughout the hoods? Where are they at? Where are the LeBron kitchens, the Eddie Murphy kitchens, the Whoopi Goldberg kitchens? Where are they at? For all the half-breeds out there, where the Mariah Carey kitchens at? Huh? The Holly Berry kitchens at? Huh? Huh? Where are those at? The Omari Hardwick kitchens. Where are they? They're nowhere. So if you guys think that these black YouTubers are going to hear this and be like, oh, let's nut up on this nigga and prove them wrong. No, they want to be those people. The same people that you listen to wish to God every day they could just wake up and just go super duper viral and be famous and be on. This is what they hope and wish. Some of them even tell you this. Some of these niggas will tell you that they're trying to get super duper famous and on. What? What? So off of the people who supported them, gave them the money to where a lot of these guys don't do shit for a living. They just make videos. People pay them. A lot of niggas don't want to believe that. That's all right. You don't have to believe me. Okay? Because what you get on a PayPal account, don't nobody see if you get a direct donation to your PayPal. Don't nobody know that. You follow what I'm saying? And for these dudes who talk about pocket counting, look, bro, it's just common sense to see how much money somebody's making. Okay, if they can make this much money doing it, because this the only reason why these other guys are asking for money is because they all were pocket counting. Was like, well, shit, if this nigga can get this much off of it, I'm way filthier than him. I should be able to get this much off of it. If y'all don't think that's how this shit started, you're fooling yourself. You're talking to a nigga who really, man, I've hustled so fucking long and so hard in my life. This is my third job this year. My third job this year. You feel me? That's not a good thing, but it's also not a bad thing because it shows the ability to rebound quickly. You follow what I'm saying? Stop doing the little bricklaying, learned everything I could learn from young Antelmo. We had a falling out. Don't worry though. I learned everything I could learn. I learned everything I could learn. There's nothing else he can teach me. There's nothing else that a person could show me about fixing a chimney except doing it their way. That's it. So now that I'm there and I'm at that level, I don't even care about that job. I don't care about braving danger for peanuts an hour to brave the danger in my mind, because to do that type of work I was doing, I should have been getting paid more money. However, to get another job that's going to pay me just a little bit less, to do a little more meticulous work, but I still feel it's more rewarding at the end of the day because I get to see the actual results of my work because I'm a part of the process, then that part I like. You follow what I'm saying? And once again, I'm content making what I make. I'm content with that because even though I know if I just cut my hair and I just shaved and I just put on the monkey suit and just did the dance, you know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you, I could be in there just like that, but I just don't want to do that. I'm not playing that game with nobody, you know? I'm not. And that's the difference between myself and a lot of these other dudes that I'm talking about right now, is that a lot of them can't say, because a lot of them already shaved their heads and their faces. They can't say if I put on a monkey suit, what's up, bro? They can't say if I put on a monkey suit, I'm going to go and really land a real job. Can't say that. They don't even know that. They don't even have the confidence, let alone the swag, to say that. I'm telling y'all right now, straight face. Demetrius could cut his hair, shave, go put on a suit, and get a bomb-ass job in like a week, and maybe 2 weeks, max. And I have a fucking stellar job. But I have to keep cutting my hair and keep shaving my face and keep looking like a straight fool to myself. Now, some of those guys don't feel like they look like straight fools. But to me, my thorough explanation to all of it, once again, because people want to try to, quell your man. So I gotta put a whole lot out here at one time, so that way don't nobody get it fucked up. These dudes shave their faces, cut their hair, and tell you that because you don't do this, this is why things don't work out for you. You have to be more presentable. So once again, these guys are so brainwashed by white people that a concept that white people put upon you, because for a man who grows his facial hair, and a man who can grow his hair, for somebody to impose upon you, you have to shave all that off. You have to take all of that off in order for me to take you in. But the white boy got long hair, tattoos on his face, all on his arms, everything. Big ass gauges and shit. He's in there. So once again, these dudes don't even know what they're talking about. Okay? They don't know. They're trying to be white black people so much. That's right. That's right, bro. That's right. They've been desensitized. But it's still brainwashing though, dog. You feel me? To be desensitized that's a fancy word for brainwash. Because if I show you a bunch of videos of people getting killed, right, to make you less sensitive to it, then I give you a gun and put it in your hand and say, hey, look, they're the enemy. You're justified because I'm the United States government and can't nobody hold me accountable for shit. Go kill him. Guess what's going to happen? You're probably going to lay that motherfucker out. Facts. No, truth. And that's just how the fuck it goes. They can't stand my black ass Because I'm gonna say what it is that I know don't most people even most niggas don't even ponder this shit. They don't give a fuck about it. I'm trying to break it down to my people though because I love y'all, man. You know, they don't want nobody to think that it's just basic shit. It's just base. It's really basic. It's not as complicated as some of these dudes try to make it out to be. You're gonna tell these dudes want to tell me that every white dude who done did his history and research, that every single one of them is wrong. They're like, oh man, this ain't the end of nothing. Listen to this. Every white dude I ever heard talk about this, and the reason why I bring up the white dudes is because they're the most frivolous about their state. You know what I mean? Like as far as like how they think the country is, like they're way more affected by it than black people. So it's because they have more to lose in their minds. Now, with this being said, they enthrall themselves in the study of the fall of empires and how these falls take place and exactly what they look like. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's gonna fuck you up. I bet you right now in all 50 states, in the 48 contingent and the 2 that we can't see, I bet you top, middle, and bottom dollar, there is a record level of construction taking place in municipalities, localities, counties, whatever, record levels. Reason how I know this to be true is because this was part of one of the old stimuluses that Obama pushed forward. Okay, they're still doing some of those programs that Obama did back in the day. All right, Trump ain't canceled out everything that Obama put forth. But however, the point that I'm trying to make is this right here, is that you have it's not exactly a timeline, but it's like let me gather myself real quick and say this the right way so that way it's understood properly. These dudes have looked it up to where not just here in America, but all across the world right now, they're doing construction and shit, right? In places, you know, building, you know, these great opulent buildings and all that stuff. Why this is so important is because the fall of Rome, Greece, Egypt, some of the older Chinese dynasties, and I'm sure many of the unheard of civilizations, one of the things that they all engaged in was mass construction during the fall of their societies, during the actual plummets of their societies. They engaged in all this building. Now, I don't know why that is, other than to keep people busy to not really understand the actual climate that they're living in. Now, with that said, if you guys are living anywhere where they're doing a whole bunch of construction, you should be alarmed. You should be very alarmed, because how many people have seen the construction say it's only going to take 3 months, and here you guys are a year later and they're still doing construction in that same area? Now you can say, oh yeah, man, these dudes are just milking the government. No, the government is trying to close off certain routes of ingress and egress. They're trying to make it hard for people to move during whatever they know is coming, because they don't want people to be able. If mass panic happens, the last thing you want to happen is for people getting on the freeways, doing this. You want a lot of that to already be stifled by how you have certain construction set up. So if people are in nut to butt traffic already, let's say during the fall, let's say during like the actual moment, it's like 3:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Eastern Time, right? And locked in traffic. So it's 12:41 over here, locked in traffic, right? Let's say the fall happens then. Let's say there's construction in all these places. You're not going to be able to get anywhere like that now. You follow what I'm talking about? There's a real reason why they're doing this shit. I can't break it down all the way, but what I'll get more in depth on is the fact that they need to be able to funnel people to specific areas. So that way, whatever they have put together in their minds, they can enact that shit. I can't stress this enough. I've seen several different little clips of like news, right, of different places in the U.S. where they're doing construction in these places, and I'm like, dog, this shit is not a coincidence. They're doing this shit for a design. It's not to make the roads look better because they're not even fixing the roads that should be fixed. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Because they're trying to shut it down. They're trying to do something. Once again, don't nobody know. These dudes who think they're so damn slick are going to be the first ones to get hit. Where are they gonna go? Huh? Where are they gonna go? They brag about living in houses and shit like that. So, right. We already know where to find you in your house because you don't live in an apartment building. Where I'm sure if shit really hit the fan, they would just airstrike that ass. They wouldn't even think nothing about it. They would just send a drone to your shit, blow you up, out of here. You won't become a messiah on our watch or while you think you can. You're out of here, dog. People could only pray that, once again, people could only pray that things that we've only been told exist in legend and times of old were to manifest to somehow throw that all off and all awry. That's it. Other than that, something bad is about to happen. I mean, hella bad. Do y'all understand? In order to get an ID, see, people watch my little ID act or whatever thing. Check this out. The whole point of that is this. If you don't have a passport, you can't get a fucking enhanced license. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Right. How many people who are felons fly on planes every year? How many people are illegal and are in somebody, and are living with somebody else's social security, this, that, and the other, get on planes every year, fly every year? Now, if you guys think I'm tripping, if you think that's going to stop certain people, it's not. They're going to get on the interstate and drive. It's going to, thousands of people, tens of thousands of them, probably, even hundreds of thousands, you could even say are going to still be willing to go see certain relatives within a certain distance, or just say, fuck it, I'll drive all the way there, right? But let's say you're from Hawaii. You better renew your passport, sister. And now do you see why I'm so bent out of shape about this bullshit? Because I caught a case, then I caught another case, and right before I was gonna get my passport and all that. Anyway, anyhow, imagine if you live in a place like Hawaii or Alaska. That's where you're from. Alaska, you could still technically. I mean, that would be a long ass drive and a long ass trek. You can still get there. But that's the whole point, though. Like, if you live in Hawaii, dog, that's it. You're a felon. You can't get a passport. You can't go. So now a lot of people are going to have to make the decision. Do I just want to go home and just stay home and live there forever? There's going to be people who do this. Trust me, there's going to be people who do this. It's only logical. So it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. We're still a whole year and 4 months out. Year and 4.5 months out, technically. So when it actually falls down and the shit hits the fan, a lot of people ain't gonna know what to do. A lot of people are gonna be lost in the sauce. The only beef I have with that is they're already being told. It's playing on multiple radio stations and this, that, and the other, and people don't think. I mean, man, they could easily upgrade TSA to having pistols, rifles, whatever they think that these guys actually need right then and there. Like they might make all their people armed security. You know what I mean? To quell any of that shit. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. And people are like, man, that's so long from now, bro. You can't be worried about that. It's like, you have to think about it. You have to contemplate these things. They're gonna affect you. It doesn't have to affect you today. It's gonna affect you. And I know for a fact it is. It's gonna affect me. So, it's gonna affect everybody. Anyone who travels, it's gonna affect. Anyone who wants to travel, it's gonna affect. There's not gonna be a brighter day after that. Then you talk about these student loans. So once again, let's say you don't leave the country or something like that, or you don't have the ability to leave the country, right? Or let's say they make it to where there's all kinds of things that could keep you from getting a passport. Let's say they throw delinquent student loans on the list at a certain, if you owe a certain amount of money. How you can't stop the government from doing that. Once again, these niggas ain't telling nobody no type of shit like that because they don't see it coming. They couldn't possibly see it coming. They couldn't possibly see it coming. Didn't nobody believe me when I told motherfuckers that the feds were going to go into Chicago? Right on. Now, did they go the way that I think they were going to go? No, because they're building federal cases on people. It's almost over. Before the start of that whole ID Act 2020, unless these guys start just dropping dead or they all just start leaving Chicago, right on, you're going to see a lot of guys getting indicted. You're going to see a lot of guys getting indicted. You're going to see guys who don't even get associated with Chicago, who left Chicago, who are going to get indicted on all types of charges. They're trying to bring, trust me, they're trying to bring the hoods all across America down. They're trying to put together the case of the century on a whole lot of these dudes. Okay. They don't have to believe me. They really don't have to. I don't give a damn. It's really unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Because what's to stop a dirty ass DEA agent, a dirty ass ATF agent who's got connects in the hood still? And see, this is why people don't understand. Who got connects in the hood, and their connects is like, hey, look, I got the plug on this, that, the other. I just need you to make sure that everything is clean and good to go for me. Right on. Boom. Gotta let that shit fall through. You let it flow through. But he might be using this dude because he knows he's like, okay, this guy actually does business with this big major player. All right. And if I can implicate these 10 little dudes and just get 3 of them to tell on him, right? I'll cut these other guys loose. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's what they're doing to motherfuckers right now, bro. They're putting together federal cases on all these dudes. All right, anybody who's actually active in the streets, they're putting together cases on all of them, and they're letting certain people get killed. They're letting certain ones of them get killed. They're just letting it happen because that's less resistance they're gonna have to deal with come that time. I don't even think niggas even realize it like that. They're killing all the soldiers. All the soldiers are dying. All the potential soldiers are dying. They're all dying. I'm talking about real to the turf brothers. They're all dying. They're dying out there. So where are they going to be at come that time? Nowhere. They're already 6 feet. Right. The same dudes that these guys. This is why the smartest of the black YouTubers don't down so-called Pookies and Ray Rays. They don't down them. They just point out certain maybe faults and things that they can work on to better themselves and ideas to improve these people. However, the point is this. When all those dudes are dead, when all these dudes are gone, locked up, put away, whatever, right? When they're just no longer, when they can't be of any service, do they think the overweight truck driver who has a problem going up a flight of stairs, you think he's ready to soldier out there? Huh? You think the guy that is like has no physical strength in his body, despite his frame, you think that guy's about to soldier and get down? You think if there's no chance to use guns and you have to go, oh man, we're down to our hands and feet with rocks and clubs type shit. You think that those guys are about to soldier? Huh? You think the chicks who sit here and fucking play scallywag fortress for these punk ass niggas sometimes, okay? Who do you think is gonna stick up for them? Huh? Who do you think is gonna do that? That's why I never trip about the shit. Because I'm like, I might own all that shit. I hold myself down on that level. Okay? I warrior for me. I don't have to worry about that. A lot of these guys talk about, oh, you know, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a this, I'm a that. Let me tell y'all something. When it comes to the game of survival, the person who does the most that matters is going to always walk away. Oh, nigga, unless you kill somebody, dog, you ain't got shit to worry about. Right on? Unless you kill somebody and niggas all know about it, you don't got nothing to worry about. So you're tripping. That's nonsense. But anyway, uh the whole point is this. These dudes don't realize Steve is his own soldier. Martin's his own soldier. You feel me? Andre's his own soldier. Right. Right. Small unit cohesion. If I was with my small unit of people, I'll put my small unit of people versus any small unit out there. I don't give a fuck. I'm like that. And every good unit needs a knowledgeable nurse, motherly type character. And that's why we were always ever grateful to have our elderly sister, Tammy Bowser. That's what, and once again, and I'm not saying that she can't soldier, but that's not the position you put your sisters in. Never. They should never have to be. If you act right and do things accordingly, you should almost never have to have a woman in a situation where she has to stick up for you. Ever. It should never be like that. And when it turns out like that, 9 times out of 10, the dude did something wrong. You know what I mean? He either kept bad company, right? Or he put himself in a position that he should have never been in. So it's always like that. It's always like that. Always like that. But however, who's going to soldier for those guys? Nobody. 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 The same people who could soldier for you, they're taking the same resources that they need to get the resources that they need to soldier from them. And guilt trip black people into giving them money. And claim they're different from politicians. Man, get the fuck out of here. They're just as much as the problem. Just as much. Just as much. I don't borrow nothing from the Bible and then say, oh, fuck the rest. No, I can use things that I don't even agree with in the scripture to elevate the point that I'm making. I use Paul all the time. I hate Paul. I hate Paul. I hate him. Literally. He's one of those dudes. I hope right now he's being tortured in Sheol. I hope, pray to God, in the day of great destruction, his soul is killed and his spirit, whichever one he's got, is killed in Sheol. I pray that happens. But I can still use his nonsense to bolster what I'm saying. So my point is this, is that all these people who are out here hoodwinking their own people. Sometimes I like to believe that these guys aren't even our people sometimes. Some of them don't look nothing like us, don't act nothing like us. I'm like, yeah, that's got to be a parasite. That's got to be an Evite. That's got to be an Ardukite. That's got to be a Jebusite. Damn it. Because that's not me. That's not me. Unless that's Ephraim or Manasseh acting a fool. It's not my people. It is not my people. Middle Earth Gentile thing, maybe. Middle Earth Aboriginal used to be first creation people thing, maybe. Not my people. I don't claim them. These niggas got this umbrella. Their umbrella for blackness includes every nigga who say he's black. Not Meech. Not Meech. Nope. I understand that there's a similar struggle and cause for all these black people, all these different genetic groups of black people. I acknowledge that more so than I say a lot of things. There's their ability to hold us all in the same strata, if you will, is really contingent on the fact that we all believe that we're the same. So I have to stress the fact that we're all not the same to point out the differences in the mentalities, okay? The differences in how we're built as people, how we look as people. That's okay that we're different. What's not okay is that people who are not people who they think they are or want to be are claiming to be those people. A dude who's an Israelite thinks he's an Egyptian, thinks he's Nuwabian, thinks he's anything other than an Israelite or anything other than a person who comes from Semitic ancestry. And it's just so evident that you may come from Semitic ancestry. It's one of those types of people, like, they're sick, but they're no less sick and no more sick than a person who's not an Israelite who goes around telling people that they're the people. That person is just as sick as the first person I mentioned. They're both sick. They're both mentally ill. You follow what I'm saying? Because they're living in delusion. I don't live in delusion. I live in my real life. If Meech didn't grow any facial hair, and the Most High had blessed him with the same knowledge and learning, I would be like, yo, I'm the stranger for sure. There's no way. Otherwise, I come from a super duper diluted bloodline. There's no other way I can enter. I can't make that anything else. I can't make it anything else. I can't make it. It would be like if I was born white. Like, how could I say I'm an Israelite, dog? Like, it's crazy. It's just as absurd. It really is. It's even more absurd because you look like the people, right? It's even more absurd. It's, once again, nobody's any less sick, any more sick than the other one. Want to know why? Because they all believe incorrectly. If they believe something that was proper, then maybe I could say, okay, well, you know what? This group is actually way more fucked up. Okay? This group is actually way more fucked up than the other group is. But there's no evidence of that. The Aboriginals let white people come over here and take everything from them. Why? How sloppy, how reckless is that? The Africans allowed for the workforce that came in there, was in dire need of their help. So-called Africans. What did they do to those people about 1,000 years later? Let some of the same dirty bastards who chased them into fucking Judea, okay, put them on boats and ship them over here. How about that? Right. So if we're going to look at certain things, right? But then again, I have to go back to how these people got on a boat in the first place. It's because their ancestors were so far from the intended purpose of their life. The Most High God had no choice but to sever all bonds and say, okay, off to the hard bondage you really go. Because if you think being game in the fucking Coliseum was rough, dog, try being a slave in good old antebellum South America. Oh, he knew. He already knew. He already knew what was going to happen. He already knew. I'm sure you could show certain guys who fought in the Coliseum 1,000+ years ago, right on, more than that, whatever you want to say. I'm sure you could go and say, hey, look, I'm going to show you a glimpse of the future. And you can either fight in this Coliseum and fight this 20-foot giant that we're about to unleash, or you can go live this life. And they would have showed this dude from the sun up to the sundown treatment of black people, and dude would have been like, I think I'll have to fade it out with this giant. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. I think I'm gonna have to fade it out with this giant because I'm not going to go live over there and go do that. That's not what's about to happen to me. No, I would rather do that. That's the position you would put a person in. Only a person who's literally out of their mind would say that they think that the treatment of slaves here in America was better than how black people were treated right after the Romans captured Judea. You're out your mind. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. The same black people who ended up being a game and slaves and all that to the Romans, these are some of the first true monks, okay, of the so-called Roman Catholic faith. Man, y'all need to understand the game. Anyway, I can't break it all down. That's why to this day, if you look up Catholic monks, you know what I mean, all over the world, a whole bunch of them are black. And this goes back to the Roman Empire. But this goes back to the fact that Rome was initially what? Black. I need y'all to understand something. Why would they want to keep y'all around unless they knew that? Huh? Why do you think they allow these black, certain contingent of black people to get into the scripture in those places? Why do you think they allowed them to? Because they already knew that these people have a genetic structure to understand this at a much higher level and rate than we ever will. Naturally. This is how it goes. See, I'm not trying to be nobody's, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not the yes man. You know what I mean? I'm not a yes man. I'm not here to make people feel good at all. If I have to say that, then I have to say it. But I would hope that people are already aware that I'm not here to make anybody feel good. This is not a feel good message. Okay. When I first turned this thing on, for anybody who wasn't here at first, YouTube shut down one of my videos. Okay. Totally pulled it off the show. Months and months and months ago, almost a year ago, when I first dropped it, they flagged it. Okay. The whole initial purpose of why I'm talking about silencing the dissent, because I'm the only real dissent, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling us to make our own media or none of that type of shit. I don't tell you that you have to be an American. You feel me? Or none of that type of bullshit either. I don't do none of that. The rapture, the white heaven, the rapture that already happened, they pulled it down, sis. They pulled it down. The elbow dropped it off the top turnbuckle. Still, I didn't get a community strike. Still no strikes. Right. See what I'm saying? They couldn't give me a community strike because I didn't do anything wrong in the video. The video was super duper informational. It was way more informational than this one. Half this video, I'm just talking shit, and not talking shit, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just expounding. I'm just talking. Sis, that's one of my best works ever. That's a for real top 5. It was. If anybody has it downloaded, I need y'all to send that to your boy, okay? And then I'm gonna re-upload that shit, and I don't give a fuck. I'll re-upload that joint right now. And I say that's one of the coldest works I ever did because it really pointed out how they put together the whole structure. You feel me? And how they created their own heaven. I put it together for them. But what I did today was just like trying to kill them. You know what I mean? And like they didn't let me do it. So that, like, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, when my camera went out, if y'all had got to see how I jumped back and forth and showed you the different little connections, because I was reading it to you, but you couldn't see nothing. So sometimes, you know what I mean? There's a disconnect when there's no visual, and I'm saying there's supposed to be a visual, and I'm talking the information, but you're not seeing it. That hurts, and the fact that I didn't go to look at the actual video, you know what I'm saying, the actual stream, and look and see what anybody is saying. But I don't normally do that when I'm going through information. I just try to just get on the information. And this is why you guys see me pull up the pages sometimes one at a time, because man, fuck, that hurt when they did that to me, because I didn't do that to myself. When they did that, that one hurt, because that was going to make it clear, the Hunnic Empire, if you guys seen on the one page, I hope you guys got to see that. It was a brown spot, which was pretty much all of what we know as Russia going into China. And why that's so important is because if you look at that same map, 451 AD, right? The Franks are well-known people. Now, when they show us Romania, that's not the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was all those places that you were seeing that had now fallen under control of these Middle Earth bastards. Okay? Same Middle Earth bastards mixed blood with the Huns. But they're from a very similar tribe. The Indo-European people come from, they say, 3 distinct groups, you know. And the whole point is this right here is that if one of them is an agriculturalist group, the other one is a metal worker, and the other one is a combatant or a warrior type people, right? We just have to look at and say, okay, well, what people in the regions fit this script, right? And it's simple. So when you go back and you look and you say, okay, well, these guys actually call themselves Indo-European because they went and were able to successfully be amalgamated within the Roman culture. Okay, that same culture that they were amalgamated within while they were fighting and warring with the Romans went off and made it with this other group of people. Now, mind you, I just named the 2 real groups. Okay, one is a half-ass warrior who's a metal worker. The other one is your agriculturalist. Bam, boom. Now let's go to your real warriors, the Huns. Okay, the Turks. Come on, the real actual fathers of the Ottoman Empire. Can you dig that? And they worked lockstep with their so-called Germanic brethren to accomplish this task. Man, y'all gotta understand this shit is so deep. They can't help but to fight one another. They can't help it. They literally can't help but to just war and combat with one another. So don't be surprised that, you know, that for all those years they were still at war with one another. It wasn't uncommon for sons to kill their fathers to take over a kingdom so that way he could try to bring the kingdom up in the way that he saw fit. Now, mind you, the only success that the barbarians had were once they were taken in by the Roman Empire, taught the Roman tactics, used those same tactics against the Romans once they had successfully became trusted and put in high enough places in the society where they could yield not only influence, but also have access to great resources. It's the only way that you can overturn the power tide virtually overnight. Okay, the same dudes who were taken in by the Romans allowed their Gaul cousins, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunties and uncles to come into Rome. Okay, man, come on. What do y'all think? What do y'all really think happened? It was like they just woke up and people were dying in their sleep, dying in their beds. It was vicious. I'm trying to tell. It wasn't. It's not nothing. What the same dirty bastards who were able to overtake Rome wrote the history. You think they're telling the truth? These dudes don't even tell the truth about shit that happened yesterday. You think they're telling the truth about something that happened? You know what I mean? The greater part of 1700 years ago, 1600 years ago. You really believe that? So with that said, this same group of people who were able to manifest enough resources and influence by being taken in by a group of people who more than likely not known for the metalworking, because that's not what they talk about when you talk about the Roman Empire. A little bit, but not really. Underrated. Little do people know they were excellent agriculturalists, excellent in the Mediterranean. Don't get it fucked up. That's why their empires flourished the way that they did, because people knew how to do shit. Everybody had a vineyard. Anyway, let me just keep it pushing. Not everybody, but a lot of people. There were people who were considered, to the standards back then, kind of poor, not with very much, and still had a vineyard and little animals and all that stuff. Trust me, these are black people. These are your agriculturalists, the metal workers. Just once again, this understanding is an unnatural understanding that came directly from their fallen fathers. See, I can't break it all down and go to the book of Enoch, but I'm gonna just reference that, and I think y'all all know what I'm talking about. And then moving forward, okay, you have this other group, this warlike people who also come from the fallen. All right, and their origins unknown, because these bastards crawled out the middle of the planet. Nobody want to hear that? That's okay. That's all right. But there's caves that'll take you into the depths of the earth right now. So if you think Middle Earth is fake, you're the crack cocaine you smoke, I don't even want to be like anywhere in the building you smoking that, because that might get everybody high around you. You're smoking some 100% not cut. I don't even know how you're still alive crack. You feel me? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. That's the type of drugs they'd have to be on, because there's no way you're gonna get me to believe anything differently. Look at history. Look at what happened. Look at how things still happen to this day. Right. They don't want you to even think for a moment that they did what they show you they did. The same thing they did to the Native Americans is the same thing they did to the Romans. Got their trust. As soon as they had enough of their trust and were able to once again access resources and things like that, they did a hostile takeover. But they did it when people were asleep. Why do you think white people still attack people to this very day at hours where people are normally asleep? It's part of their modus operandi. Man, I'm trying to break it down to you. In the Bible, there were many battles fought where people met each other in the open plains and just got it in. They'll fight each other like that, but they won't fight you like that, because they understand we don't stand much of a chance. And they came down the mountains with long swords. And the Romans, okay, until they allowed these dirty heathens to be integrated into their fucking armies, they had short swords. All right? And they were smashing these dudes with short swords, destroying them. It wasn't until they allowed these guys to get into their militaries and they couldn't use the short swords very effectively that they made a longer version called the Spaten. Okay? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Roman Greek sword. All right. There's a different name for either culture, but there's a very similar structure to the sword. Now, why I bring this up is because this only comes into being implemented only when after the Gauls, whatever you want to call them, the Slavs, whatever you want to call these people, all come to town. Want to know why? Because they can't use a short sword. They have no skill with it. They can't get good with it fast enough. They're used to a long blade. So what did the Romans and the Greeks do? They compensated for these guys, okay? And they accommodated them. And they made longer weapons, bigger weapons that they could use. Come on, man. People are like, that's bullshit. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that for thousands of years, these guys used these short swords, and all of a sudden they fought these white dudes and was like, we need swords that are longer? What the fuck? Are you serious? Once again, we're back to that same crack. Back to that same excellent batch that somebody whipped up. Ammonia free, baking soda free. And niggas don't know that you can cook crack without baking soda, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway. People don't even know, man, what I know. People don't even know what I know. That's why, sometimes the stuff I say just be coming out of my mouth. I had to like catch myself just then. I don't want to give away too much information. Anyway, these cats don't get it. These cats don't get it. The same Turks are the same Huns, are the same what group? Not the Jews per se. The Assyrians. The Assyrians are a mixture, and this is why even to this day in Russia people look Asian. Vlad Putin looks Asian. Vlad Putin is a prime example of what I'm talking about. He's an admixture of these white people and these more Asian looking people. Only he's been made more white looking because the white looking people took over those parts after the Asian looking people moved far east and were able to water down the Aboriginal people who lived in those lands. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, look at the history. The Chinese can't tell me shit because all the dudes who are in charge now are Middle Earth bastards. Every last one of them. Don't y'all think it's weird that Meech has been pointing out for years and years and years that all races of people have people in the race and the group who grow facial hair, full-blown beards, and then there's a lot of people in the group who grow virtually none, yet they're all considered the same. Yet I'm like, nobody else other than Meech finds that awkward. I guess I'm the only nigga because I'd never hear nobody else talk about it. Once again, I'm the dissenter to say they're all not the same. Right. One group brought that genetic structure, whatever it is. Either one of them brought the beard or one of them brought the no beard. You're not going to tell me that a group of people who come from the same gene stock look differently, man. It's fucking bullshit. Right. So how do they all look different all of a sudden? It's the same thing that I bowed to black people. How are there people among you who you're saying we're all the same, but nigga, everybody don't even look the same? And I'm pointing it out with different races of people, that these dudes all came from Middle Earth. Right. And some of the people who live among black people came with these same motherfuckers at different times. Why do you think there's a lot of Africans who look just like very dark-skinned Asians? There's a lot of black people in this country who have, and I'm not talking about chinky eyes, I mean their features are literally Asian. They have a super duper fucking flat face, okay? All right? They have like a little ass Asian nose, right? Their face is big as fuck. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, wow. And nigga, 0% facial hair. Even if they shaved, you feel me? They wouldn't get the peach fuzz or nothing like that to know that, okay, there's a good chance that if I put the razor on this bitch again, it's coming in. No. Nelson Mandela is an excellent example. Excellent example, dog. But they'll never tell you shit like this. They don't want you to see. Once again, y'all, I'm the dissenter. I'm the one who's saying that we're all not the same. Proudly, happily, quickly. Can't do it fast enough. Want to know why? Because didn't nobody believe that the Israelites were different from the Egyptians, or different from any of from the plethora of multitudes of people who would have been in Egypt at that time. But the one group that the Most High said, I have to separate y'all from, and I have to make it known that you guys are not only different from them, but you're my chosen, are the Egyptians. Now, this gives credence to one thing, that those Egyptians that they were around, some of them had to look like the people. Right. But can't get no damn more simpler than that. So that means that there was Egyptians who obviously looked just like these dudes. Or we can go back to the Joseph story, where Joseph was clearly shaved amongst the Egyptians. So do these Egyptians really grow facial hair, or do some of them shave, or do some Egyptians grow beards? Because I got a few pictures in my shit where there's fully bearded Egyptians. So once again, unless you're going to say, oh no, those are Hyksos Egyptians. But even those Hyksos, okay, those people, all right, are considered to be Canaanites. So even if you wanted to go to that route, those are still bearded people, and they're still Hamitic. Man, got to leave me alone. You know what I mean? They got to just leave me alone. That's what I hope YouTube does. I hope YouTube realizes, like, you guys took a masterpiece off of YouTube. Masterpiece, man. Masterpiece. They took one, y'all. They took one from me. That was one of those. I mean, like, there's a few different. Fuck it. They could take the Pacific and the Angel DNA. Get rid of that shit. Part 1 and 2. Fuck it. If it's like that, that's not that. But that's not out of here. That's still here. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And I accuse people in that of not having souls, of not being human in that. That's one of the first times, like, I really come out and I'm like, yeah, for a fact, all these people ain't who you think they are. That's one of the first times, like, I mean, I really was like, yo, and I had like the ability to stress it. The Pacific and the Angel DNA, does that sound like a catchy title? No, sounds really basic. I got a bunch of basic title videos that get no views, but the impact of the Pacific and the Angel DNA has been huge. Causing a lot of different groups to panic in their own rights and ways. I've seen people make videos shadow mocking me to say as if I actually don't know what I'm talking about, but I do, because they can't dispute the information. The information is solid. You follow me? They just don't want to accept that what I said is actually, probably more than likely true. That these black looking people who have blonde hair and blue eyes, who look totally different from all the other people on the island, all right? And I'm not, I mean, these are black looking, they look just like black people. You know what I'm saying? They look just like black people, but they have blonde hair and blue eyes sometimes, dog. They look crazy than a motherfucker over there. I'm like, this shit is out of this world. It's out of this world, y'all. I never seen nothing like it. I will never see nothing like it again. That's the most craziest thing I've ever seen. Really, when I think about it, like as far as a living person and what they look like, you can't look any funkier than having brown skin, blue eyes, and yellow hair. You just look weird. You look mismatched in a motherfucker like that. But anyway, and people are like, oh, his eyes are pretty, or her eyes are pretty, they're hair. Stupid, because you've been taught to believe that by white people. Right. I have to go all the way back to that basic ass notion. But just to stress what I'm saying, that these people on this island, okay, people won't even understand that I separate them from all the other people. Because I know that they're Japhetites. I know that they're Japhetites who are now Gentiles because they live amongst the Gentiles. And they have a strong amount of that blood coursing through their veins. So much so that there's black people with blue fucking eyes. Still Japhetites to me. But I know that they're all not Japhetites, right on? I can look at them and I can make a clear, I make that discernment for myself. Let me see your parents. Oh, neither one of them look like they could be niggas? I don't know. I'm most definitely not convinced. That's where I'm left. You know what I mean? I won't deny nobody what they think or what they feel. And I appreciate that, Steve. But I'm saying the truth as I see it, not what I'm thinking, as I see it. And I see a lot of things that folks don't want your boy to see. I see a lot of things that folks don't want your boy, you know what I'm saying, to be seeing, hearing, thinking. I experience a lot of things that people don't want me to experience. You know? This is why I'm able to say the things that I can say. Because I'm just not afraid of the same consequences that other people are afraid of. They don't bother me. They're real, but they're only as real as I make them. You know? And I'm 2 hours in now, and it's 8:31 p.m. And I've been up all day. So I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes because I've been going. But I just feel like this, though, y'all. Ultimately, these other cats can say whatever, but they've all asked black people for something. If they all got took off of YouTube, right on, and then got fucking picked up in black vans, for the most part, I wouldn't feel nothing. Maybe for a couple of them, I might be like, damn, that's hella fucked up. Like, that's my nigga. You feel me? But for the most part, feel nothing. And the reason why is because most of them, 98% of them, legitimately don't mean good for black people. That's why I show myself to y'all. I want y'all to see who the fuck I am. There is no question who's Demetrius. Want to know why? Because he's right here in front of you. Can you dig it? I'm right here. There's no question. You can't say, oh, who's he? You don't have to worry about what I look like, nothing. I show my abode all the time. There's a reason why I can always respect a person who I think is a poop butt still. Almost, there's a couple cases where it's not that it's exceptional. It's just that, like, I just respect their persons more than I respect the other person. So I would never give the other person more respect than them. But in a lot of cases, I respect, talking about, in a lot of cases, I respect the people who I can't stand and I think are poop butts more than guys who don't show their faces and make very valid points. Because there's a lot of guys on YouTube who feel like you shouldn't be able to see me, or you don't have to see my face. And it's like, you're a fucking coward. And more than one way, you're a coward. But they'll justify it however they have to fucking justify it. And people will accept their justification. But do you think you could have lived 50 years ago? Do you think you could have been Martin Luther King and just been sending out leaflets to everybody and been like, yeah, follow me because I'm Martin Luther King. You think that's how the shit's going down? Fuck no. Let's please. So that's the issue. I'm right. You know, I'm not wrong. I'm right. These motherfuckers don't want to hear that. They can't stand it. Appreciate you. Just in time. And the same shit that I say to y'all, I say right here to the same dude that just walked in. That's my roommate. You know what I'm saying? I tell him all the same things. He can either take it or he can't. That's it. I don't make no gripes about the shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to be disrespectful to nobody. I just try to speak exactly how it is that I'm going. Whatever it is I'm going through, I want that to be as clear as it can be. I don't want there to be any confusion. See what I'm saying? I don't want there to be no confusion with none of us. Y'all don't like something Meech is doing, just like all the other people do, they leave. They get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all love me, you know, and I love y'all back, but I'm just saying, like, you know, you never have there's no pressure to listen to me. Because regardless if it was just me talking to the camera while it's live and nobody watching, I would still say the same things I've said tonight. And I wouldn't have deviated, and I wouldn't striate, manipulate, cultivate, okay? Anything else. It would have been just like this. And that's a fact. Because they fucking cut my video however long ago. I told Andre, I think. I didn't tell nobody else. Might have told Steve, but I don't think. But I don't even think I told Steve. I think I only told Andre about that when they pulled my video down. Yeah, I didn't even tell y'all guys when I did the last little video. You know what I'm saying? They had pulled it down before I did my last little piece. I was like, fuck. Like, that bothered me, y'all. That bothered me because it made me see they're way more interested in what I'm doing than what I thought they were. They're way more interested in what I'm doing than what I thought they were. Okay, bro, so I did tell you. Okay. We talk, yeah, we talk. So, you know, I was like, I may have or may not have brought it up, but just the whole fact that they could do some shit like that. I want you to understand, the video didn't even have 100 views. It stopped getting views because once they flag it, it stopped getting views, right on? Like it stopped counting the views. It was stuck at 86 views. At 86, it didn't register any more views after that. It just got stuck at 86. So there could have been hundreds of views on the video. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe even thousands. Who knows? I'll never know because I remember I checked on it a few times and I was like, damn, I just watched it like 3 times. Well, I didn't watch it 3 times, but I went to it 3 times and not one of them registered when I went back days later. So I'm like, man, anybody who watches it, they're not even gonna know. And you couldn't even like it. You know what I mean? You couldn't like it or dislike it. It was stuck at 86 views. I was like, man, this shit is fucking crazy. And it was really sad because when it was still getting likes, the video had like almost like 12 likes already. You know, I'm pretty sure it was like 12 likes it had. I was like, oh shit, niggas is loving this one. You know. But anytime you make a real classic that black people is feeling, shut it down time. And I'm thinking I know exactly how it happened. That dirty ass Jewish bastard, Israeli News Live, that fuckhead, Steve Bannoun, he got mad, and that's I've been saving this to the very end because they'll have to watch the whole video to get to this part. That punk ass bitch ass faggot was talking the same scripture that I told y'all about Paul talking, and he tried to vindicate that as being like the blessing that people are getting right now and that they're supposed to be receiving. And I was like, this dirty ass, he is the worst of the heathen telling other people, he's the worst of the heathen telling other people, okay, about the goodness and severity of God. He's the worst of the heathen, whose people dwell in the places where our people used to live. He's one of them worst of the heathens. He ain't just a run-of-the-mill piece of shit heathen where you're like, yeah, he's a dirty ass white dude. No, he's a dirty Jewish white dude. Big difference. Big difference. Big difference. I don't give a fuck if they flag this bitch down, tear it down, whatever. Fuck them. I won't use the K word on them, but they know how I feel about them right now. They ain't shit. That dude is not shit, y'all. I mean, it's just weird. I went to his channel. I commented on the video right on. I mean, like when I say I gave it to him, I gave it to him. Gave it to him harsh. And days later, I get a video get flagged down. White heaven, the rapture, you know what I'm saying, that already happened. Now, did he try to flag other videos? Or was the flagging already happened? I don't know if this shit's a coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences, y'all. I don't believe in the coinky dink. So right, this is a dude who has like fucking almost 1 million subs. He's got hundreds of thousands of people who listen to him. You think YouTube wouldn't fucking say, hey, okay, you know what? Oh, this guy gave you a hard time and you got hundreds of thousands of subs? Yeah, we'll pull one of his shits down just to jerk his chain, you feel me? Pull his coattail a little bit to let him know he's out of pocket, he's out of line. Now, am I going to go out of my way to make a video for this guy to address him? Fuck no. Fuck no. Because I don't want YouTube to pull down this whole channel. It would be so much stress and strife to get all the information that I put out there back up. Like, y'all don't realize, like, it's really about the information. So much, but so much more so than anything else. Like, there are videos that people are still watching. They still make fun of me. They still talk a whole bunch of shit to me. Okay? But they're full of much useful, pertinent information. I blackwash history, just in case y'all didn't know. I've been accused of blackwashing. Did y'all know that? Yep. I've had guys get mad at me and say, all those people weren't black. The Egyptians were Caucasians. La 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 la. Yep. And all kinds of people tell me I'm blackwashing history. Now I'm just showing it in Meech's vision. Best way I know how. Because Meech's vision tries to take out as much bullshit as possible and give it to you straight uncut. Trying to get all that out the way, all the nonsense and the fuckery. And then hopefully something good will happen for us. Hopefully. 8:41. We've got 4 minutes. I hope y'all are about to enjoy this 4 minutes because I'm about to try to. So, your current situation, I don't know what y'all are going through right now. Get ready for the end of this year to be hectic. Christmas shopping, gonna be, not just a trade war, but money would have to increase so much. So this could be one of the worst so-called holiday seasons they've ever seen. I just see it just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. See, it's easy for you to say go all in because I say shit to you. I talk to you. You can easily say that. That's not fair though. Because if I say some shit and get this and they get this channel swipe or no swiping right on down, you feel me? It's over. You know what I mean? You feel me, bro? Then I have to restart and re-upload. We're talking about hundreds of videos that I've saved. I have to re-upload those. All the live streams that I haven't saved a bunch of live streams. I don't be saving them no more. I just don't even care because it's like it's a fucking hassle. You know what I'm saying? It's a hassle, bro. It's a hassle to be perfectly honest with you. But you know, and I, bro, and I love you to death, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just one of those things where they'll do that to me. And that was just their bro. They don't even have to tell me. They didn't even tell me what was wrong with it. You feel me? It just violates the whatever, but it didn't say what part of their shit that it violated. And I'm trying to tell y'all, man. There's been cats who have had videos removed and struck down and this, that, and the other. But let me say something to y'all. I don't have an extremist agenda. They all sound like extremists. Want to know why? Because every single one of those dudes is talking about black people, black people, black people. When I talk about black people, I'm talking about a specific group of black people. You know what I'm saying? Every time. I'm not talking about just any old nigga. You feel me? You know, run of the mill. Once again, oh, we're all black. You know, we're all the same. No. They got the umbrella blackness, so that way they can have as many soldiers and as many bodies as possible. I'd rather be surrounded by people who want to be in the presence of the Most High every day of the week. It's unfortunate that more of the people don't want to be in the presence of the Most High, but I would rather be around those that do. I'd rather be around people who understand that you may never get what you actually deserve on this planet. Did you understand that when I read that out of the book of Enoch? You may never get what you deserve. You may never get what you deserve on this planet, but the Most High will reward you. It's 8:45. Sometime in this little minute, I'm going to shut it all down. I'll save some epicness. It's only Friday. I'll probably, if I don't do nothing tomorrow, try to do something Sunday. Got a couple little pieces. I got to upload the R. Kelly Hitmaker. You feel me? The young AIDS air him out, the Hitmaker. Oh man, so I can put all and listen, y'all, and that's how I end this shit on some gangster shit like this. I recorded this video that I'm about to release in the next day or so. I recorded it back in January, like January 16th or some shit, like January 6th. It was hella long time ago. It's been like 5 months, okay? I've waited this long for the perfect opportunity. It is the perfect opportunity. It ain't not gonna get no better. They're hating at my man at an all-time high. I got to go in and edit the video a little bit and put a couple of little clips in it now. You know, a couple of things have changed. But, oh yeah. And I know y'all thinking, why would you do that about Kelly? Because it's all the same people accusing this man of doing shit. You probably listen to this man's music, bob their head to it, this, that, and the other. For every person who down Nipsey Hussle when he got killed, for every person who legitimately never heard a song, right? And I'm not talking about you heard his music, you didn't know it was him. I'm talking about you never ever heard a frequency of Nipsey Hussle, and you're like, whatever, okay. But for all the other cats, you feel me, who heard the dude's music and then tried to put his own death off on him, you know what I'm talking about? Those are the same people who listen to his music, bob their head, and oh, that's my shit. And then now they want to be like, well, that's on bro because he got killed. What? The fuck kind of sense does that make? So it's the same situation with R. Kelly. These same niggas who done made babies to R. Kelly wanna talk about how R. Kelly ain't shit. Dirty motherfuckers. Don't worry, Hitmaker's coming out. I love you guys. It is always an honor and a blessing. Always. I end on this note. When they finally get what they have coming to them, I pray it's not when all this shit is happening. I don't want the internet to be up. I want it to be down. I want the whole shit to go down. So that way they can really see what it feels like. Because these dudes have made beds that they don't want to lay in, and only just now starting to realize it. Only just now. Only because I said it. That's facts.